It might seem like the pictures you're seeing are part of another big project in Dubai, but they're not. These are actually the ambitious Khazar Islands in Azerbaijan. They were planned to be a series of connected artificial islands and home to the tallest building globally. However, more than 10 years after the project was announced, only a few islands are undeveloped, and some buildings are left unfinished. So what happened? Have the islands been abandoned? And is there a chance the project could restart in the future? Today, we'll explore Azerbaijan's $100 billion failed island venture. Azerbaijan might not be a place you're familiar with, and it's technically not connected to any ocean. It sits between Europe and Asia. Unlike the United Arab Emirates or Saudi Arabia, it's not the first country you'd think of for extravagant coastal developments or towering skyscrapers. But that doesn't mean they lack the ability to pull off such projects. Just by looking at Baku, Azerbaijan's capital, you can see they know how to build impressive towers and skyscrapers. Compared to some neighboring countries, Azerbaijan is quite wealthy, thanks largely to its oil reserves. In fact, at one point in the early 1900s, Azerbaijan produced more than half of the world's oil. Since gaining independence in 1991, the country's oil industry has flourished, especially with the opening of a long pipeline to Turkey in 2006, providing Europe direct access to Azerbaijani oil. This brought in billions of dollars in revenue. However, despite their wealth, Azerbaijan felt something was missing. They had plenty of money from oil, but lacked something to truly grab people's attention and attract more investment. A businessman from Azerbaijan named Ibrahim Ibrahimov wanted to make his country more famous. On a flight from Dubai to Baku in 2010, he got an idea. He quickly sketched plans for a whole new city on a piece of paper. When he landed in Baku, he gave the sketch to his architects and said, "Draw this exactly." This ambitious vision became the Khazar Islands project. The plan was to build this new city just south of Baku on the Caspian Sea. It would have 55 artificial islands connected by over 150 bridges. The islands would have apartments, hotels, shops, restaurants, and even a Formula One racetrack. This might remind you of Dubai's Palm Islands, and you're right. Though Ibrahimov said the Khazar Islands weren't copying Dubai, they shared many similarities. But Ibrahimov wanted something even more impressive: the tallest building in the world. This tower, called the Azerbaijan Tower, would be over a kilometer tall, beating Dubai's Burj Khalifa by more than 200 meters. It was also meant to withstand strong earthquakes. Construction started in 2011, and the first phase went well, with some buildings finished by 2014. But work on the Azerbaijan Tower and the rest of the project stalled due to funding issues. The tower, supposed to be finished in 2019, remains unbuilt. So far, the Burj Khalifa is still the tallest building globally. What went wrong with this big project we haven't heard about in years? Well, just like oil runs out, so does the money it brings. By 2010, Azerbaijan had reached its peak oil production. Then, oil prices dropped globally around 2014 and 2015. For Azerbaijan, where more than half the money comes from oil exports, this was a big hit. In 2015, when they were supposed to start building the Azerbaijan Tower, their currency had already lost 30% of its value. Then there was trouble with Ibrahimov, the guy behind the project. In 2015, he got arrested for not paying back money to the National Bank, which he used to fund the Khazar Islands plan. Although he got out on bail, the damage was done. The Azerbaijan Tower construction got canceled, and work on the Khazar Islands stopped too. Building a skyscraper as tall as the Azerbaijan Tower was a huge challenge. Nobody had done it before, and it's super expensive and complicated. Look at Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower, which had delays because of money issues. Dubai's Creek Tower also had to be redesigned because of problems. Even if everything had gone smoothly, there's a question if Azerbaijan really needed such a massive project. The Khazar Islands are similar to Dubai's artificial islands, and Dubai's project didn't work out as planned. So, Even if Azerbaijan had finished its project, would people really have flocked there to invest? That's something to think about. So, what's happening now, almost 10 years after Ibrahim's arrest in 2015? Well, there's been hardly any news about the project's future. In 2015, Ibrahim's company said the project would be done between 2020 and 2025, with Chinese investors still interested. But recent satellite images of the site tell a different story. There are only a few unfinished buildings and roads, and it doesn't look like they even started building the 1-kilometer-tall skyscraper. By 2019, the government took over the site and started looking into other options for it, like finding new investors or different developments. But they haven't told the public what they found. With less oil and the world moving away from fossil fuels, the future of the Khazar Islands and the Azerbaijan Tower seems uncertain. What do you think? Will they ever finish it? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.